So we've talked a lot about what we think of as demonstrative evidence, but I want to talk to you about something people don't necessarily think of as a demonstrative, but I believe is maybe the most important demonstrative. So I'm going to share my screen here again and show what I'm talking about.
So Chris rolls up his sleeve. The nurse, or Miss Hurst, the medical assistant, starts looking at his veins, pressing on his arm, and she puts a rubber tube around his arm. We've probably all seen those before. And she swabs it down with some antiseptic, and she pulls out a syringe, a large hollow syringe that has a glass tube inside of it with a needle attached to the end. And she says, good, you got good veins. So she slides the needle into Chris's arm, and she sees, or we see, a vial of blood quickly fill up one of those tubes of blood. And she takes that tube out, it's got a colored code on it to indicate what kind of test it's for. She puts that aside, she puts another tube inside. That tube quickly fills up with blood. She takes 2 tubes, she takes 3 tubes. Then she turns to her left, and Chris is sitting there. Hill, come quick, come quick! Hill, come quick! Walker rushes into the room.
Not the presentation of evidence, not a theatrical production. I asked counsel to put his scope back on and conduct himself as an attorney.
Mr. Bell, I think that is a little argumentative and a little dramatic for opening, so I'm going to sustain the objection.
Juror walks into the room.
Of course, the demonstrative is your body, the use of your body, and the objection from defense counsel was tell him to put his jacket back on and start conducting himself like an attorney. Well, I talked to the jury afterwards, and they gave us a very significant verdict, and they told me that this helped them appreciate how dangerous it is for an adult male to fall from the height. And this was a blood draw, and you never sit up when you give blood, you lay down or you're in a chair. And you asked about how do what happens when things unusual happen in trial or whatever. And nobody wants to be attacked as not being a real lawyer in court, and then have the judge jump in, with this is too dramatic. Well, the fall was pretty dramatic too, and my client fell and broke his neck and became quadriplegic. So the courtroom is the place for drama. I respectfully disagree with the judge, and it's a place for taking chances and giving the jury a memory, an impact, physical or otherwise, of the incident. So that's what that was the intent behind that. I hope that my goal in sort of showing this is to get people's juices flowing, take some risks in terms of putting yourself out there. Why not take off your jacket, roll up your sleeve, demonstrate these things, reenact these things. It's going to make it a lot more interesting to the jury than just oral storytelling, or even storytelling augmented by visuals up on a screen. When you put things in motion, you're physically moving. The neuroscience supports this, but that people are experiencing the event just by watching it. That's why our blood pressure goes up. We get excited when we watch a football game, because we can feel the hit when a player gets hit hard, or whatever the sport is. The same thing goes on in a courtroom. When the jury can experience some piece of what your client experienced, then they're going to start caring, and they're going to start identifying the client's story with their story, and then they're going to start viewing them as part of their tribe, part of their community. And that's where you get good verdicts, is when you can make that real connection.
Well, it just goes to all of the layers, and I think we're hitting on some of them, but there are other ones that we may not even know yet, or aren't going to be able to get in detail about. But you're right, that exhilaration of the jury seeing you act it out, but also that feeling of kinship and tribalism that they had. And then, like you mentioned from the beginning, that relatability. And the other example you just gave a moment ago that the jury talked to you afterwards was that you were willing to take the risk to show them, you know, that's something else that they will see and appreciate.